We are coming live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and Skype streaming live this very moment. This very moment, life is a single moment of awareness, is a single moment of awareness. A single moment of awareness is enough. Single moment of awareness is enough. Meeting happens in a moment. The opposites merge in a moment. मिलन घड़ी भर का उन्माद, a moment's ecstasy. A moment's ecstasy, and that moment is a moment of awareness. A single moment of awareness is enough. It is fulfillment. If you have lived the moment in awareness, if you have lived the moment in awareness, then nothing else is needed. I say nothing else is needed. That is total. One second here. Something I have to just check here what it is happening here. Just give me a minute here. Maybe there's something here. And a single moment of awareness is enough. It is fulfillment. If you have lived a single moment, then you don't need a next moment. If you have lived the moment in awareness, then nothing else is needed. Indeed, nothing else is needed. Your life will be transformed. But you are creating the problem. And people who try to be aware almost always create the problem. Why do they create the problem? Because they want the awareness to remain forever. It cannot happen. Awareness can only be of this moment. The very idea that it should always remain. It should remain permanent. A permanent state is wrong. And why be worried about the next moment? The very idea of permanence is part of greed. Greed is part of unawareness. You have lived this moment, who bothers what will happen next moment? When the next moment comes, we will see about it. This moment is so much fulfillment that I do not have to think about the next moment. The journey inward is totally a different dimension. This very moment is samam banam, total. I am not looking for that moment. मिलन घड़ी भर का उन्माद, a moment's ecstasy, but unawareness is playing the trick and creating the problem. It is not that out of awareness problems arise. Problems arise because of unawareness. This moment is enough. This moment is enough. Be aware in this moment. This very moment is total. And when the next moment comes, you forget this because it has moved backward. Like you are moving in a train. Everything that you see is receding at a very fast pace. It is receding. It is, you are in this very moment, and when the next moment comes, it is no more. It is no more there. This very moment is total. This is samam banam. And when the next moment comes, you forget it. So be it. Be aware of your forgetfulness then. One has to be attentive even of one's inattentiveness. I remember this. When you do not remember, that moment is also important. Just as for walking you need 2 feet, you cannot walk on 1 feet, you can simply hop. And the process of walking entails that you move 1 foot forward. When 1 foot gets stationary, then you take the next step. And the 2 steps, the movement of the 2 feet becomes 1 step. You have taken a 1 step forward. Then you take the next step. Are you bothered about the next step in that moment? What happens? And when you are taking the second step, are you bothered about the first step? It is on the firmness of the first step that you have taken, you take the next step. So this moment is enough. Just as for walking 2 feet is necessary, for flying 2 wings are necessary. It is the merger of the 2 opposites that transcendence happens. Left foot and the right foot, left wing and the right wing together. So in the same way, awareness have 2 aspects: attentiveness and inattentiveness, awareness and unawareness. There are moments when you are aware. In those moments, you are aware of your awareness. This is the orgasmic experience between awareness and unawareness, between attentiveness and inattentiveness. the orgasmic experience when the two opposites merge into one another and dissolve. Orgasmic experience is that experience when the opposites merge into one another and dissolve, and only then something else happens. When awareness and unawareness, the masculine and the feminine, the yin and yang, merge into one another, transcendence happens. Life is nothing else but the ultimate orgasmic experience. Meditation is an orgasmic experience. Life is a moment-to-moment orgasmic experience. When the opposite meet, merge, and dissolve. Meet, move to merge, and then disappear into one another. There are moments when you are aware. In those moments, you are aware of your awareness, the masculine energy. It is not a single awareness, it is complex. You are aware of your awareness. Then there are moments when you are aware of your unawareness. You were supposed to do something, but you forget. When you forget, it is a beautiful moment that I forget. Don't you say in ordinary life, oh, I'm really sorry, I forgot that. The journey of meditation, journey of awareness moves in the same way. You are aware of your awareness. You are aware of your attentiveness. When the moment of inattentiveness or unawareness comes, you are aware of that as well. But the awareness continues as a substratum. Sometimes you are aware of your awareness, other times you are aware of your unawareness, but in both cases, you are aware, and that alone is beautiful. So whatever happens, you allow it to happen. You remain aware, and yet you are choiceless. When awareness will grip you, and when unawareness will grip you, you are not worried about it. But you are choiceless. Sometimes you forget. Nothing can be done. It is as beautiful as remembering. Remembering and forgetting. Masculine and feminine. Isn't it so? You remember something. There is a beauty that you remember to buy the gift or something for your beloved. It is a moment of rejoice. And when you forget, isn't it a moment of, but you have not learned to live, accept the moment of forgetfulness, that when you forget, there is a beauty of its own when you forget and you say, oh, really, I'm sorry, I forgot. Something melts in that moment. The anger or whatsoever was coming in that moment when you say in a gesture, oh, really, I'm sorry, really sorry. I forgot it completely. I'll compensate for it. In that moment, something melts. Imagine and experience this. Experience this when you say this with totality. Remembering and forgetting. When you forget something, you remember sometimes, it's not sometimes, always existence wants to enrich you in a myriad ways. Existence wants you to enrich your experience in myriad ways. It gives you an experience for you to realize what happens in a moment when you remember. Also, it gives you an opportunity when you forget. It is 2 feet, remembering and forgetting. In that very moment, remember, happens. Something happens. There is no point in crying for the spilt milk. That which is gone, is no more. If one moment has passed and you were not aware, and the moment you become aware, alert that this very moment had gone and you were not aware, do not waste any moment for it now, because this other moment is also passing by. The moment is very delicate. Just be aware. And why ask for permanence? Meeting is a moment's ecstasy. You always get one moment, and that one is gone, another is being supplied to you. So if you remain alert in one single moment, that alone is enough. I don't need the next moment. This very moment you are with me, I am with you. That's enough for me. That is enough for me. I don't need another moment to live. If I have lived this moment totally, that is enough. Whatsoever time will be coming in front of you, your torch of awareness is always there. Asking for permanent awareness is as if you are going for a long journey, 1,000-mile journey in the night, and I give you a small torchlight. And you say, through this torchlight, I can see only a few feet. What else do you need? You can only move a few feet in one instance. How am I going to manage with this small torchlight? It is impossible. The torchlight is too small and journey is very long. But I'll tell you, to go 4 or 5 feet alone, the focus of the torchlight can only reach up to 4 or 5 feet further. It makes everything clear to you. The torchlight can focus only 4 to 5 feet, and everything becomes visible to you. You can see the road. See it very clearly. The clarity comes in. When you cover the distance of 4 to 5 feet, your torchlight goes forward. This is what Hindus call the Sudarshan Chakra. It goes far in front. And Sudarshan Chakra is the light of awareness, not the weapon. That we call Krishna hurled the Sudarshan Chakra and cut off the neck. It shows you the path through the light, moves forward, cutting off all that is unwanted. Light, that torchlight, is a weapon. It cuts darkness, makes your way forward. This is the deeper meaning of the Sudarshan Chakra of Vishnu that Krishna held on his finger. And It shows you the way. I will tell you, you go 4 or 5 feet, and then the torchlight will be falling further 4 to 5 feet. It will illumine your way only in segments, the segment that you can cover in a particular moment. Just by a small torchlight, one can move into the darkest night, and one can go on covering the distance, the journey of 1,000 miles. There is no problem. But if you start calculating and you sit down and you put it on the paper and you see that torch is only capable of lighting 4 to 5 feet in front, and the journey is 1,000 miles. It is impossible. You have to move practically. Many times people think, I have one more question. You answer that question. I have one more question. If this happens, what to do then? You answer that question, then the next question comes in. As if that you are manufacturing the questions. One moment is enough for your awareness. Then the next moment comes, be aware again. Your awareness is there. Another moment will be lighted. Then another moment. Then another. The whole eternity can pass in front of you. Why be worried about making it permanent? Go on asking the questions. I recall one incident. One day I asked my grandmother, the Sufi master, the Naqshbandi Sufi, my Nani, what is my religion at the age of 10 or 11? At the age of 10 or 11, somebody asking a question. What is my religion? She did not answer that question that time. In the night before going to sleep, I had the habit of massaging her feet and then spending some time in her company in meditation before going to sleep. Then she said, you were asking, what is your religion? We are born as Hindu, but we are Naqshbandi Sufi masters. She could either say, you are Hindu, born in a Hindu family. Hinduism is one of the greatest religion, as any other Hindu person will say. She did not say that. She could have said, you are Sufi, your great-grandfather, uncles, grandfather, they are all Sufis, you are Sufi. And in fact, everyone is Sufi, one who has left the way of logic and moved from logic to love is a Sufi. Sufism is a love affair between you and the whole. Sufism is the love affair between you and the whole. She could have said that. You know what she said? Your religion is the same as that of God. Your religion, my religion is the same as that of God. Firstly, instilled a program that I belong to the family that is God, the totality, the unknown and unknowable. I come from that. My descendants, my lineage is not from anyone else, but from that unknown and unknowable. My lineage comes from that which is unknown and unknowable. But this is not I did not get the answer to my question. I ask, Then what is the religion of God? Because I asked you, what is my religion? And you said, my religion is the same as that of God. Then she said, you asked too many questions. She instilled something, and you asked too many questions. There is only one question. And if you can find the answer to that question, nothing else is needed. Who am I? This question was, what is my religion? Religion is the way. Who am I? What is my religion? It all fall in the same category. When she said, you asked too many questions, that you have to discover yourself. A new journey has begun that very moment. What is the religion of God? Does he have any religion? But every religious preceptor says God is Hindu, God is Muslim, God is Christian, God is Jew. Ignorance. Does breeze has any? All that is existential has no religion. Religion is the way that I conduct myself. When someone asked Jesus, he said, I am the saltishness in the salt. I am that quality that quenches the thirst in you. That quality which, it is that quality that makes the salts salt. You do not call salt as sugar because its intrinsic quality is to add saltishness. The intrinsic quality of the water is to quench your thirst. That which is my intrinsic quality is to expand, to evolve, to grow. And whosoever comes in this company, he should equally be nourished by the same awareness. Something was installed in that moment. Since then, that has been the way, and that is what I share it with you. This is why Buddha called his philosophy as the philosophy, the way of the moment. He said it is enough to be mindful of the moment. Only the moment exists and all else is imagination. I ask you to taste a cup of tea. You came to my place, I offered you a cup of tea. You enjoyed the tea, sipping it. Then I ask, after you have had the taste of the tea, I ask you, how did the tea taste? You will say, you will go into imagination, and then you will try to write something or explain something out of your imagination. That is a different thing. The moment, only the moment exists, all else is imagination. So the past is gone. If you missed it, you missed it. Forget about it. There is no need to lament over the split milk. No need to worry. The future has not come in as yet. There is no need to bring it. Just look at the moment that is passing right now and look with awareness. Still, you will miss it many times, but there is nothing wrong in it. When you miss it, is miss it. When you miss, just take the note with full alertness that you have missed it. Just as when you forget to buy that particular item, you do not lament it. By and by, you will miss less and remember more. The gap between the two will get less and less. Just take a simple note, observe it, and be finished. Go ahead. By these observations, more and more awareness will be happening. And I am not saying permanent. I am saying more because more has a depth. You are moving in the depth of the ocean, deeper and deeper, more and more deep. Awareness is going to remain of the moment alone. It can be shallow, it can be deep. That is a totally a different dimension. It will become more and more deep, more and more deep. It will become so deep one day that whatsoever comes in front of you will be illumined. Whatsoever comes in front of you will be illumined. But do not think in terms of permanence. Instead of permanence, let it become eternal. Eternal means that does not form within the framework of time. No past, no present, no future, just eternal. You are eternal in the sense that you are looking at the body. You was here yesterday, you are now, and you will be tomorrow. You existed on three aspects of time. Kal, aaj, or kal. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This is aspect of eternal. Instead of permanence, look for eternal, but not permanent. Permanent is an aspect of time. Permanent is part of time, but we always think of making time stable. If something is fleeting, time is fleeting, we are worried about it. Then we think, what is the point of making so much effort and it is gone, again gone? Simply drop the worry. Instead, awareness is the key word and the key question, awareness. If you can open it, it is the key. If you can unlock it, you have found the master key. Awareness is that master key. I remember in an ashram, in a particular place, there lived a master with his disciple. One morning, the master said to his disciple, I want to go on a further journey of my innerness. So 3 days after, I'll go on that journey. The disciple was very happy and he said, we will pack up. I'll prepare all the arrangement for us to go to the mountain or wherever we want to go. But the master said, people will be coming to this ashram, so I want you to be here. I want you to remain here. Saying this, the master went. The disciple said obediently, okay, if you say so, I will stay here. And after that, saying this, the master went into silence. So the disciple thought, the master said, I have to be here. So let me find out, if somebody comes in, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? So the master, when he asked, what am I to do? How do I have to continue the way? So master pointed out towards a notebook and a pen. The person brought the notebook and a paper and a pen. So master wrote on that, awareness. Thank you, said the disciple, and he went back. When he opened the page, he said, Master just wrote awareness. There must be something before it and something after it. So he went back to the master again. He said, Sir, is there anything before this and after this that you have forgotten? So he again pointed him to bring back the notebook and the pen, took the pen, and he wrote awareness. That was written already there. He added a sign plus awareness. Awareness plus awareness. Disciple took it, and then when he looked at it, awareness plus awareness, something seems to be incomplete. Again he went to the master. It's as usual, the master asked him to bring the notebook, and then he wrote awareness plus awareness equal to awareness. Awareness plus awareness is equal to awareness. Awareness is samam vanam, total. Nothing else is needed after that. In order to be aware, Buddha introduced the aspect of mindfulness. Be mindful of everything. Awareness is vast. But if you are moving, I am moving my hand. When you are driving your car, your hands steer the vehicle. Are you aware of it? You are thinking of something of pain or pleasure, and automatically your vehicle is steered towards the home. This is not the way of life. You are aware as my hands is moving. This is why in Zen monasteries there is a Buddha walk. In Japan, in Zen monasteries, there is a ceremony called tea ceremony, tea meditation. You pass through a little space, you enter into the garden. Japanese do everything. They eat food. A small table is very small. Sitting on the ground, they have their meals. So there, the water is boiling in a pot called sanover. It is boiling and there is a sound. But when you are boiling the water, you are watching the television show. So you do not hear the pleasant noise, pleasant sound of the water boiling. Listen to that sound sometimes. So you listen to the sound. And when I went to a Chinese shop in Washington, restaurant, where the tea ceremony, so the person came and he showed the way how the tea is to be served. He brought some flowers, hibiscus flower, dried. So ask in the menu what kind of tea you want, hibiscus tea or some other flower tea. So he said, the tea, when you boil it, as happens in India, boil and boil, it becomes poisonous. The water temperature has to reach to 95 degrees Celsius. It begins to boil. Turn it off. Then you bring the plain water and you put the tea leaf into it if you are drinking the other tea, or if you are using the flower. So you pour the flower into the cup and first you pour the water into it, rinse it and throw it. Then you add the tea leaf, that flower, and add the water, and the flower starts opening its petals. And with that it releases its fragrance and the taste. Then you are supposed to sip it, not drink it. And when it is finished, you add some more water and continue it. This is the unique way. That's a meditation. So you sit down, everyone is sitting, no one is talking to the other. But when we go to the restaurant, we keep on talking and we do not enjoy the food that is in front of us. Sometimes people ask me how is tasting. I said, right now I am eating. And if you ask me how is it tasting, it is edible. Edible. So sometimes now it is said that don't ask him any question, he will answer some kind of stupid answers. Can't you say that it is tasting good or bad? It is tasting really good. I'm saying, I said, right now I am eating. And when I am eating, I cannot tell you what it is the taste. I have to allow this morsel to go in my mouth, go through the complete process. Suppose it is tasting very good in the mouth, but when it reaches the stomach, it does something else. So I have to wait and then tell you, yes, it is good. But I cannot say, so all I can say it is edible, that's what I am eating. Mindfulness means this is the way to practice, it is the tool. You are moving, driving your vehicle, returning from your work. Be aware that you're in full awareness, mindfully. Your vehicle, you are steering your vehicle towards the home, not mechanical. Anything mechanical cannot take you far. So that is what he said. Someone asked Buddha, are you a philosopher or thinker? What is your way? What do you do? Barrage of questions. Buddha said, I sleep, I eat, I drink, I walk. Oh, this is what we all do. I also do the same thing. Buddha said, are you aware of? Are you mindful of it? Are you mindful of when your foot moves forward? Are you mindful when the morsel goes in your mouth? So this, in the Zen monastery, the tea meditation, when the water is boiling in the sanovar, the pot, you hear the sound of the water boiling, it comes to you. There is a very soft, pleasant sound when the water is poured from the kettle into the cup. And when you sip it, there is a sound. You become, first you are mindful of it, then you are aware of it. Indeed, awareness is the key word, the key question. It can, if you can open it, you have found the master key. It opens all locks, solves all problems. As the master said, awareness plus awareness is equal to awareness. There is nothing beyond awareness. No other question is necessary then, but never make it greed. It will come on its own. When it comes, live it. live this moment, life will begin to move in a totally different dimension. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.